This meeting is being recorded.
Well, I'm glad everybody knows now. So welcome to our March meeting. Yay. We made it. Whew. Thank you, Elena, for sending me that sweet get well card. Ione sent me a get well card too. It was really sweet. COVID has definitely messed with my brain. So, and I get it. Like I understand what the fog is, and I would wish this on no one. So I also injured my rib. I dislocated my rib and I ended up going to urgent care because it hurt so bad. I couldn't sleep. Yeah, it's been a month, y'all. It has been a month, but we are looking forward to the new catalog. Okay, so March 29th, I know I'm so excited. So March 29th is next week, Wednesday. They have said, they told the leaders today that at noon Mountain Time, they're going to go live in the demonstrator planning place. So if you want to catch a lunchtime show, it'll be 1 o'clock our time on 1 o'clock Central for those of you on Central. They're going to go live in the demonstrator planning place. And then I think at 1 o'clock Mountain, so that's 2 o'clock our time, they're going to post all the color stuff and it'll be under current promotions. There's already like a black and white image under current promotions. I'll show you where it is. And they're also going to post the new catalog, and they're also going to post the retiring list. And so things are going to get busy. Again, it's that like, oh dear, here we go kind of moment. What they're not going to do is they're not releasing the last chance list. So the last chance list is, well, yeah, they will. The sale portion of it won't go live then. So what they're doing is they're waiting, I think, a week until they put stuff on sale. So they're like spacing that out, at least for us, which is good. I mean, because having all that information, I mean, yeah, we could figure out the retiring list based on what's in the new catalog. Like, it's nice that they provide us that printed list, but I mean, you don't have to be a dummy to, not figure that out. But the stuff they're going to put on sale, they're going to wait and give everybody a little bit of time. There are lots of rumors swirling about how many colors they're going to retire. Someone was like, oh, I heard they're going to retire them all. I'm like, they're not going to retire all the colors. Like, everybody take a breath. I think the most we were looking back at, one year they retired 17, which feels like a high number. Last time, I think they retired 10. I don't know. I mean, I feel pretty satisfied with our colors. So like, I don't know. I mean, I would be surprised if it's more than 10, but, so Wednesday, the 29th is when all of that information will come out. So I think what I'm going to do is the 29th, I might do like a little like Zoom chit chat for us that night, just for our team, so we can collectively like take a moment and so not for customers, but just for team. So probably that night, it'll need to be after my live, so it'll have to probably be at 7:30 or 8, but I'll post it in our group page and I'll set up a Zoom so that we can all just kind of get together and be like collectively like, oh my God, did you see this? What about this? What about this? Oh Lord, all the things.
Melissa, can you say what time they're going to go live on the demonstrator planning page again for me, please?
Noon Mountain, so 1 o'clock Central.
Okay,
so it sounds like they're going to go live before they post it officially on the website, because the website says they're not going to post it till 1 o'clock Mountain, which would be 2 o'clock Central. So, when we're thinking about, okay, like, what do we do? Looking at the retiring list, if you have stuff on the retiring list and you have it in your possession, is there something that you would want to do, like a last chance class, right? Like maybe you haven't inked it up and you want to. Maybe you haven't inked it up and you don't want to, and you use it as a giveaway, or you do some sort of a raffle, or right? Think about like, okay, if I haven't inked it up and I don't want to keep it, what could I do with it if it's still in pristine condition, and then of course, thinking about, post when the catalog retires, at the end of April, beginning of May, you can sell those items. You can sell them on eBay, you can sell them on Facebook, you can sell them for street values, face value, whatever value you want to sell them for. That's between you and your God, Same with the colors. So if you don't have re-inkers, for your colors, you might want to get them. If you wait until we decide what's been retired, it might be too late if you wait until the next day. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see. I usually don't buy re-inkers. Like I just, I buy them for when if I know I'm going to need a re-inker, but I don't like panic buy re-inkers when a pad retires. Like, at that point, there's no need to freak out. Somebody will find it on the internet somewhere, like, I don't know. I don't feel like I have to feed into that. But if it's a color you love, like Evening Evergreen, then you want to make sure you've got the inker, the re-inker and the marker, for sure. I know it's, if they've never done it before, but if they were to do it ever, to bring a retiring in color into the collection immediately, like Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent would be two really good colors to do that with, I think. I'm going to miss Soft Succulent a lot. Like, I really like that color. I'm playing with it again today. So, and I have a lot of cardstock. So whatever card we're making in April will have Soft Succulent on it, just FYI. So just thinking about, what's your strategy? And then when you look at the new catalog, what's your strategy? It's an annual catalog. We'll have 12 months with it. You don't have to buy everything tomorrow, maybe, pick a set that you want to showcase in May, because we don't have anything else in May. I mean, that's what's kind of wild, right? Is that we don't have this spring catalog in May. So, what does your May, stamping look like? What are your May occasions? Mother's Day, Father's Day, is there something in there that you like for that? Maybe summer. And then, also take note of, what you have that's carrying over. Stuff will carry over. Sometimes you win the lottery and you have a lot, and sometimes you don't. There have been years when I have been so proud of myself and I'm like, look at all these ones that are carried over. And then other years I'm like, oh, well, I'm losing a lot, and that's okay. There were a lot of mother sentiments in the paper pumpkin. Oh yes, I saw that. And Kathleen, they posted a video post hoc, which I thought was interesting, about developing the kit and the designer. It's on the Paper Pumpkin YouTube, and the designer talks about designing it and kind of what she did and the mood board, and she shows the fonts and stuff, and they kind of talk about why they did the mother sentiment. Because I think they knew that people, when it arrives so late in the month, it's so close to Mother's Day, that they decided they would just knock it out with this one. So yeah, it was cool. The designer, it was a neat interview with her. So sometimes I wish they would post those ahead of time, but maybe like fuzz out some of the images or don't show as much. I don't know. I think that would draw some interest. I don't know. That's my opinion, but whatever. Who am I? So yeah, Paper Pumpkin. So Paper Pumpkin this month is the pretty floral Matisse looking stuff with the plants and stuff. It's really pretty. Lots of gold in it. I like it. And then Paper Pumpkin for next month is the iridescent foil. If you're not on the Paper Pumpkin Demonstrator Connection Facebook group, It has the longest name possible. You need to be, because they have a video. I usually just mute it and zip forward until they show me fun things. But she does show a couple of other holographic foil pieces. There's some pretty stuff in there. It's a really pretty set. So that one next month, and they've said it's more like sympathy based and renewal based. So, cherry blossoms, but very organic looking cherry blossoms. Like they're really pretty. So anyways, it looks really pretty. They've never done a holographic thing before. So the holographic pieces are kind of cool looking. I don't think they're stickers though, but they look like holographic stickers, but I don't think they're actually sticky on the back. So, and then congrats to a great February. It was so fun to see so many of your names in the graphics that Candy posted. You guys had an excellent February. I had an excellent February. Everybody had an excellent February. It was a great end to February. So we had, it was quite a bit. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 people over 500. So we had Patsy Palmer, yay, clap, 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 clap. And we had Elena, clap, 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 clap. And we had Terry, yay. And Lisa Hagen, yay. And Crystal Sohn, woohoo. And Kathleen, woohoo. And then we had 2 people over 900. We had Sarah, yay, and Jill as well. So, woohoo. So yeah, this is like the room of winners, man. Like, this is amazing. Come on, Esther, let's go. No, just kidding. You're fine, Esther. Don't worry. All good. I heard
and then Melissa.
Yeah, that was pretty magical. And I got so frustrated because I saw Candy posted the challenge and it was like better your last month. And I was like, there is no way that I can better my February. Like, I just died laughing. I was like, I'm out, you know? I was like, we're just going to have to take the win on that one and move on. So I am $319 away from hitting $100,000. I literally am like this close just to ordering a ton of envelopes, you know. But I refuse to do it myself. So I'm just gonna wait until until someone orders. So 2 things. I talked with Terry and Lisa a little bit about virtual parties. We were talking about online parties, and I got invited to participate in a virtual party this past weekend. And I said yes, because I was hopeful. There's 6,000 people in their group. That is a lot of people, but I had 2 sales. Only 2. And so, you know, again, I think with that comes with time, probably. I will say that there's a lot of artificial, like you have to comment on everybody's posts as another vendor. And so there's just a lot of artificial commenting. But I did find one of the customers. So one of the people who ordered is the girl who invited me to do it, which makes sense, you know. And she used to be on Candy's team at one point. I don't think she's a Stampin' Up demonstrator anymore. Her name's Natalie Oveda. And then the other person who ordered was an actual real customer. And I could tell because she didn't have moderator by her name. So I was like, oh, like a real person. So I had a lovely chat with her and she ordered. And ooh, Esther, you're going to get the die cutting machine, the big boss. Yeah. So I love talking with her because I did a contest where it was like buy 1 kit, get 1 free. And I really focused on kits because these weren't crafters, like you could tell. So a lot of focus on kits, and I demoed kits and stuff. And she does Meals on Wheels, and she got the Love Treat boxes, and she's going to put those in their meals and Meals on Wheels. And I was like, well, that could not have gone to a better person then. So I'm hoping she gets her kit and she loves it and it's easy. And then I had Natalie actually came back as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, which is great because I would rather, I mean, that's a long-term relationship then, you know, that's not just a one-off sale. So, and I got some new contacts on my door prize form, which is great. And a few folks who, you know, didn't purchase anything, but might be interested in the future. So, it definitely made me up my game, like in terms of like engagement posts and, you know, kind of rethinking like, how do you engage people online and stuff. So, you know, I think that any effort we put towards that pays off, even if, you know, we don't see a monetary payout at the moment, right? It costs $20 to participate and they give that money back. They give away like door prizes each day, like to people so they can shop with vendors. So like, I don't mind that as long as the money's, you know, pumping back out. I don't really care. So, and $20 is not a big deal. So I had talked with Lisa and Terry a little bit about virtual parties. And I had a virtual party outline in Southern Sweet Stampers that I had posted years ago. I'm going to go back through mine. I used it over this last weekend. I'm going to clean it up a bit. I'll put it in our group in C2C Stampers, probably over the weekend. And you can kind of see what I did. And I've got a couple of engagement type posts and stuff too. So you can see kind of what I did to try to engage folks and get them chatting. So I'll post that up. So you guys have that. So I found successors in local market days. Oh, well, that would be similar to what Sarah did, right? Like she did the market days in Hutto.
Yeah, and I still am getting customers from it like 3 years later because it's so expensive now to do. But I also did something else recently. We had the women's club that I belong to in Hutto had a 80s party to raise money for scholarships for girls in the area. And I put together literally, like I was telling a friend of mine, it's getting bad with the last minuteness and like I just need to get my office organized. But I put together a basket and I had bought the basket ahead of time. I had some tissue and I was going to put a whole bunch of handmade cards in it and then offer a free class. Well, I couldn't even find the cards. So I found 2 paper pumpkin kits and one had a block in it and the other one didn't, but it was complete. I took it out of the box. I just had the clear thing. I stuck it in the front. I had this little sign. I was just actually separating everything down. I had a sign standing up. It was a silent auction and like people they bought raffle tickets and they put them in the little, you know, thing in front of it. So I had this sign and actually what I put on it, I just stamped it a little bit and I wrote, I had my information on it and I said, you're bidding on a card making class for you and up to 7. I wrote 7 and then I put 8 in parentheses. I'm telling you, like it was a mess, a hot mess. But anyway, I said up to 8 of your friends, 7 or 8 of your friends, whatever, it didn't matter. You pick the date, you pick the time, invite up to 8 of your friends. You can either host at your home or in mine. The theme I said was either tacos or flowers because I figured I'd either use the taco set, which I've, you know, prepared a class for already, or the flowers because I just did the Hello Irresistible class. Your choice. Catalogs included. We'll make 3 cards with envelopes plus 3D packaging item. And so I had this up, had my little basket, put some cello on it, wrapped it with some ribbon. Now, this was typically not like, I wouldn't even know if people stamped. I mean, literally 2 of my customers were there and one of my downline. And I was like, okay, well, maybe one of them will just buy, you know, get it, right? Well, so this girl, Sarah, spelled the same way. So there was 3 Sarahs with spelled the same way. She won the basket and she was so thrilled. Like she was jumping around and her friend was like, you won. Like they were fighting against each other with like who put so many tickets in. And she's like, don't worry, you're invited. After the event, we were all kind of milling around. And so I went up to her and I said, oh, congratulations. I'm so happy that you're excited to have won the class. And thank goodness I did, because of course, all my information was on the sign. I think my information was on the catalogs, but I didn't want to leave anything to chance. So I went up to her, I handed my card and I said, You know, I'm happy to work with you. Give me a call, email me, we'll get the class scheduled. I said, and by the way, there's a couple, and she was so into making cards and sending cards. I was really surprised. So I mean, you know what, I figured I could do it for 6, but what is it going to kill me to do 6 more cards? We do 6 swap cards like it's nothing, so it could potentially be 9 new customers if it's her and 8 friends. And you know what, that's how we used to do Stampin' Up. We used to go to people's houses, do workshops with no expectation, no card fee or anything like that. We'd go in, we'd make a card or 2 with them, and then we just take orders. So I figured, okay, let's go old school. So so she was so excited. So I'm hoping that it all works out really well, because of course I made a total beginner's mistake and didn't get all her information, although I can get it from the women's club. But I made sure she had mine, but she didn't, you know, I didn't get hers. So that was my big mistake. But
I've had that happen before where like, you know,
Yeah.
because I've donated classes before and not gotten their info. And eventually they get a hold of you, you know.
Yeah, and
I think I've
was
had
like,
1 or 2 where they didn't.
it was a
but-
raffle basket, so ultimately it was nice that it was a small enough group that people hung around afterwards, and you know, I could even just talk to her. But yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh, I messed up with that, but I think she'll
That's okay.
contact me, because
Yeah, you reached out in
she's just
person. She'll
so
contact you.
into it. And so me and Rainbow Sarah sat
awesome.
there and we were like, another Sarah.
That's so funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the women's club is a great idea. The Dripping Springs Women Club has been really nice and welcoming. And so I've done a little, they do door prizes every month. So I've just put some cards in the door prize bucket every month, and that's been fun. And then this is my month to talk. I'm also in the style show at the same time, so that'll be fun. I know. And all of this is on Wednesday before retreat, of course, because, you know, there's not enough going on right now. So, this month I'm going to give my door prize will be a free class. And I do 4 and them because generally their tables, you know, their dining room tables can seat 6 easily. You know I can have that capacity at my place if I want to. So, so hopefully that will go well. But that's a great thing. I think market days are great. You get local folks, you know, the people, you're going to see them again, you know, so I think that there's a lot of benefit to those. So, good. And then up to 4 friends and make 4 cards. That's a great question, Kathleen. I do you and 4 friends, so 5 people total. And usually I do like 3 cards. And I usually whip out a paper pumpkin. Just because they're beginning crafters and they generally, you know, and a lot of our paper pumpkins have ingredients for 6, right? So if I take 2 kits and put them together, right, ingredients for 3, put 2 together, that's 6. So them plus their friends and me is 6, you know, so the math on that usually works out for me. I would not do, I would do paper pumpkin. I wouldn't do like a stamp set. And like, if I did a stamp set, maybe I would do a bundle, but like a punch bundle, you know, just because punches are great for beginners. But I've been leaning on the kits a lot, you know, just in my time and their time. So, hey, Kim, welcome. Hey, Melissa.
Recording in progress.
Hello. Hey there. Whoa. All right. We'll mute somebody. All right. Everybody mute yourself. I was like, we'll see what happens. Hey, you're on here twice, Melissa. That's weird. Okay. I don't know what happened. So yeah, so we were talking about that. And then Crystal Sohn, I know she's not here tonight, but her and I had like a good conversation. She was approached about putting some of her cards in a shop. And so we talked a little bit about like how many cards and how much do you price them and how do you display them? And, you know, and kind of talking about outlets, right? Like how to get rid of your cards. So a leader on the leaders page had posted, her name's Sarah Neal, and she's from the South Pacific. And she had said that she has started a card subscription. So PayPal has a subscription option where people can subscribe. And so some people do subscriptions for their card classes. I know that Candy has moved to that model where they can do a subscription for her monthly card class, and it just auto bills and they don't have to worry about it. And they know they never miss a card class, and they just do this auto bill through PayPal. Rachel Trout is another one who is another demo who does her monthly card classes through auto subscription. Oh, you're doing a kit class at the end of April, and the host volunteered to pay for the kits. That's so sweet. I love that. So the subscription for finished cards, though, is different, right? Because it's a way for us to get rid of our cards, right? And maybe somebody wants to buy cards and they want to have a regular influx of cards. You could price this and set this up however you want. And so Sarah Neal and I hopped on a call. It was really fun. I like talking to people from the South Pacific. They have fun accents. They're pleasurable to Zoom with. And so we had a fun chat, and it was great because she talked to her team about it, and she said, look, the pricing, you price your cards how you price your cards, right? Everybody has different values on their cards. Some people are just trying to get rid of cards, and so they're going to price them to move. Other people are going to, say, look, there's a lot of layers and time and energy. I'm going to price them, at a certain amount. But you say, okay, I'm going to send 5 cards a month or whatever it's going to be. You sign up for a subscription, and maybe one of those is a seasonal card, and 4 are, small occasion cards, right? A thank you, a birthday, or whatever. And so I thought that was an interesting idea. So I've set it up in PayPal to do. I made a page. I advertise it this weekend at the vendor event. And then I'll be advertising it on Wednesday as well, because there's not enough stuff happening on the day before my retreat at a local event in our neighborhood. Because I do think that people in the neighborhood like to buy cards. I don't know that they are huge into making them. There's a few folks, but so, that's a great question. So it's not creating a page, it's just creating a subscription, and they take their normal fees. And then you can add the subscription button to wherever you want, or a subscription link. And when they click that link, I'll show you actually. And then when they click that link, then they're taken to the subscription. So let me share my screen. All sorts of, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, so in addition to getting COVID, my laptop died, and it was a great day, by the way. And so I'm having to reset up all my apps, and apparently I didn't allow screen sharing. Yeah, so I would have to quit Zoom and come back, and that's not going to happen. But if you go to, you can see the card subscription page that I made. So I made the page on my Weebly, because on my website, because that's just where I have it. But I think you could link that subscription link anywhere. So you could link it on like a Facebook post or something. And so it just takes you to a page. So inside of PayPal, you can search for subscriptions, and then it'll walk you through like how to create a subscription inside PayPal. But I think it's an interesting idea for those of you who are sitting on a lot of cards and maybe have folks who want to buy cards from you, but maybe they're not local. I think it's an interesting idea. I've done the 10 cards for $30 kind of bulk packaging, and I've got a few folks who still order that, every couple months they'll order, 10 cards at a time. But I was thinking this could be a more regular gig. So I'm going to advertise this. I haven't advertised it on any of my social media or anything. I was just kind of sitting on it and letting it simmer a little before I decided to go with it. Plus, I also needed to recover from all the things. So questions about virtual vendor events? I think we covered that. And then questions about the subscription? Don't worry. I'm just making, you know, retreat favors while I'm talking to you guys. So. I can glue and chat, right? Look, see, they're cute. They say thanks.
As long as it's not hot glue, right?
No hot glue. I'm nervous about that wreath kit, y'all. It requires hot glue. I think I might end up hurting myself if I do the wreath kit. I'm worried. So you joined for March. Do you have to do it every month? Oh, Esther, did you join? You subscribe to my cards. You shouldn't subscribe to my cards. You don't need my cards. You make your own cards, woman. So Esther, are you still there? Can you turn your volume on? Your sound? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I signed up on March. I already received my pumpkin box, but do I have to do that every month?
For your paper pumpkin? No. So it will auto bill you every month for paper pumpkin. Yep. So you got your March box already? I'm so jealous of you guys. I got
it right away.
Oh man.
In fact, I ordered the last day and I got it Saturday.
That's crazy.
I'm Esther.
That's wild. I think our mail person is like personally like holding back my boxes or something. Like she's got it against it. You can get those finger protectors for hot glue. Ooh, finger protectors. Tell me more. This sounds like something I might need. So Elena, I have my mom's hot glue gun from the 80s. And they were unregulated back then, right? So they burned hot, right? It was a real hot glue gun, you know, none of this. I don't know what these mamby-pamby hot glue guns nowadays are ridiculous. And so they don't actually melt the glue, but they don't melt your fingers either, I guess. So well, good. Any other news, thoughts, ideas, concerns, anything else that you guys can think of? And then I'm going to pull some door prizes out and we'll do some door prizes and then you guys can show some projects off too. March is always kind of like the quiet before the storm. I feel like this is going to be like, everybody take a deep breath. Here we go. You know, if there's a stamp set that you like, you should order it. If there's something you like, you should order it before March 29th. I'm just going to say that, or you should have it in your basket ready to go on March 29th so that just in case they decide to, discontinue it, you've at least got it in your basket and you can hit order, right? But if you've been holding out on something, and that's definitely the message to tell your customers too, is that things will get hairy after that.
You had mentioned, I had asked a few months back, maybe it was a personal question, but do you remember generally when they'll do the paper discount, what month they did it?
So they used to do the DSP deal in October.
I'd say before Christmas.
They would do it in October, but they didn't do it last year. And I
regular
know
card stock.
They don't normally discount regular card stock.
I thought it was like a 10% discount.
No.
DSP.
DSP for sure, but not card stock.
Okay.
How many stamp sets on average carry over? That's a diggity good question, Kathleen. I know someone has looked at this on the leaders page and probably has like a spreadsheet on this, because there are people who are like that, and I know that's where like Candy got that that document about the in colors and like that she posted that today. That came from the leaders page too. Someone will probably unearth the stat very soon. I think it depends. I think it depends on I think some years they have carried over, maybe 100 and other years, maybe 75, 125. I think it definitely varies, and I think what's important to remember is that, it's a crapshoot, right? You order what you like, right? Well, that's a small percentage of the catalog, right? And so then, if you look at what you've ordered, and now we've also got the spring catalog mixed in there too, which is real tricky, right? So now we've got basically 2 catalogs worth of stuff that we're trying to see what's going to carry over. So we know the Easter Bunny is going to carry over, right? Because maybe you guys, yeah, maybe it ran out and they decided to put it on inventory status report, right? So the inventory status report is an interesting place right now because if you go there, you can see that things will be coming in. And if they are coming in, like the circle punches, then that means that we're going to get to keep them. You know, the stylish shapes dies are coming in April 10th. No, that's not past the spring catalog, but I would doubt that they would order a bunch of those dies if they weren't going to carry them over. The Country Bouquet Punch is coming in April 17th. You know, like maybe that one's going to carry over. You know, we know the Irresistible Blooms dies, the 3D embossing folders, right? All those things are going to, you know, carry over because they're online, you know, items. So it's interesting to see, you know, when you look on there and you say, okay, here are the things we know are coming back. And then you look and you say, okay, what, you know, already on low inventory are in colors, bizarrely in colors that we know are going to carry over. I have no idea why they're on low inventory. Definitely fresh freesia, pale papaya, right? Soft succulent, the blends, you know, we're seeing like whole like stamp sets, you know, stamp pads, Blackberry Bliss, which I think that one's going to go away because they're having so many problems with it. Low inventory for paper, right? We're seeing some of the designer series paper go low inventory, which makes sense. And then if you look at unorderable though, or no longer available, it's like the Milky Dots. Milky Dots are gone. They're not coming back. The subtle designer series paper, well, that makes sense because they always retire those every year. So we know that one's not going to come back. We know the magnetic plate's not coming. And then you start to look at some other things and go, oh, okay, the heron dies are now no longer available. Well, that probably means that set's going away. The Lucky Clover Punch, nope, we're not getting that back, right? The seasonal labels, okay, we're not getting that back. So the no longer available is an interesting place to be right now. And the inventory status report is definitely telling. So if you haven't been checking it out, I don't look at it every day, but you know, once a week I'll go in and gander at it. So other questions, comments, thoughts?
Okay, I'll say, Lisa and I are talking about doing a craft show or a day retreat. And I texted you, Lisa, but we're looking at January 13th. Yay.
Awesome.
So we are going to start putting the word out shortly. And because neither one of us have a big customer base.
Right.
So it's going to take a while to get everybody excited. But we will do it. We will make it happy.
Awesome. So you're going to do a 1-day stamp camp, right?
Right. And we're going to do a long day. And we haven't worked out a lot of things, but we on the back of my door, I don't know if you can see it in the background. See it on the door?
Uh-huh.
That's our planogram.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So what's important about that is, right, is advertising it, you know, beyond your circle, right? And definitely making sure that, you know, you know, do probably some Facebook ads, you know, make an event on Facebook and take out a Facebook ad for your area. You know, I would say not now because that's a little far in advance, but you know, 6 months out or so. So that's awesome. I'm excited.
I am excited too.
So catalog selector,
Thanks.
Elena asked, is there anything special we need to know about catalog selector? It's for the annual catalog. You have until March 31st. Nothing different than normal. It's the annual catalog, so it's a little bit more expensive to send. So you might want to be a little bit more selective Get it? About who you select to send in the catalog
So
selector.
generally speaking, is that a lot less expensive than the United States Postal Service?
Yeah, it is. Because it's so heavy that it puts you over on the weight. It is much more efficient to send it through them.
Do you know roughly what you did last time?
Like how many I sent?
No, like how much it was per caddy?
No, but I can look it up. Because under, let's see, where is it at? So happening now, catalogs, catalog mailing program. We have a whole page just for the mailing selector. So the annual catalog is $4.50 to send through mailing selector. So $4.50, that includes the shipping and that includes the catalog itself, right?
That's fair.
It's very fair because the actual catalogs are normally, let me see, what's the actual, let's see, inventory, supply item, let me guess, see. Yeah, the actual catalogs are 8 for $13. So what is that? Do math, Kathleen, come on, be my math whiz. I need you, woman. Like, where's my math?
It's around 175.
Okay, $1.75. So then 350. Right. So what was it? 450, 450 minus I can do this. 450. Wow, COVID minus $1.75. So $2.75 in shipping? No way. There's no way it's going to cost $2.75 to ship it. When I was sending y'all's packages, those were $3.88 per package. And that's on pirate ship, like using the absolute cheapest means possible.
Yeah, Lisa was telling me, and Lisa, I know I'm speaking for you, I'm sorry, but you were telling me that you just sent a catalog in the mail recently, and didn't you say it was $10 or so?
$10.73 to send it to Bloomington, Illinois from St. Louis area.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid.
That's ridiculous.
It is. And the annual catalog is heavy. I mean, $4.50, and it's reliable. And like Kathleen said, accounting for your time, right? That's super valuable. Like going to the post office, even having to print stuff off here at home, the envelopes to put them in. I like that they're shrink wrapped in plastic because then I know in the weather, like they're going to do well versus if I put them in a manila, they might get wet. Oh, sorry, go for it, Lisa.
I started to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But it cannot go as media mail because it is a catalog.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, Stampin' Up is giving us a cut rate deal on this. So, I mean, I would say, be selective, i.e. don't send it to everybody. But if someone has placed an order with you this year, send them a catalog. Like, I mean, if they've ordered a paper pumpkin, if they've had a couple months of paper pumpkin, if they've ordered a kit, if they've send them a catalog. The annual catalog is supposed to be for beginners, right? It's the basics. It's where it starts, right? The minis are for the avid crafters, right? So we know the folks who are going to make Christmas cards, right? And they're going to make 100 Christmas cards and they need that Christmas catalog by Jove, But for everyone else, the annual is a great place to start. I think that's a valid point. So justify the cost and send it to all your customers. Yeah, that's true as well, Kathleen. It's a 12-month catalog. So you get a lot of life out of it, and that's one reason why with these shorter mini catalogs, I think that we're all going to get a little bit more selective about what we do with the mini catalogs and how we sell from them and what we do with them, right? Versus, how we, use the annual catalog. I mean, I love Christmas just as much as the next fool, but, we've got to be a little choosier, I think. So, and Patsy is right. Esther, you could order a 3-month or a 6-month or a 12-month paper pumpkin So Patsy will follow up with you about that. So, because that's a great way to save some money. And actually, Lisa and Terry and I had a conversation about that as well. I've had a lot of side conversations with team members over the last month. So, and I'm glad to have had the time to do it too. But we had a really good conversation about Paper Pumpkin. And I said, look, unless it is during celebration to help meet your quarterly minimums or to help a hostess out, right? Buying a prepaid paper pumpkin is more expensive unless you buy the 12-month, right? So like a 3-month, a 1-month is stupid. A 3-month is meh.
Oh.
A 6-month is meh, but a 12-month paper pumpkin is a really good move, right? For you as a demonstrator, right? For customers, it's only a good move to buy a prepaid paper pumpkin if they're trying to help like a hostess out, So Sarah's got this party, right? And she's going to go to do this thing, and there's going to be a hostess, right? The woman who, purchased the class. And if everybody wants to help her and they want to get a prepaid paper pumpkin, that helps her hostess benefits. And that's all good. That's a lovely way to do it, But the codes do expire, Kim, but they have like a 20-year shelf life or something stupid. Like I just got them again and I was like, oh yeah, it's a super long expiration on it. So they don't expire. And if you're having a hard time finding yours, like, you got one, but you forgot, you can email demonstrator support and they'll find it for you. Trust me, I've had to do that. So they gave me the same code for 3 purchases within 2 years. Oh, that's weird. What?
I'll unmute to explain because it was really weird. So I had bought, I think like a 6-month in like September 21, and then a year, like a couple months after that, celebration stuff, right? To meet my monthly minimums.
Yeah.
So all told, I probably had like 3 or 4 purchases of prepaid paper pumpkin subscriptions that would have totaled 3.5 years. But 3 of those purchases or 3 of those like subscriptions were the exact same code. So like the September 2021 was the same as like a November 21 and then a February 2022.
What?
Already put in the earlier one, the subsequent 2 did not work. And I didn't realize that until I went back and checked because I was like, I know I bought enough that I should not be without a paper pumpkin subscription right now. So I emailed them and I just haven't heard back yet, but I just thought it was really odd that they would give the same code.
They would recycle the same code.
Person.
So what's weird is that the other day, and Lynn had this happen too, I put my code in and I got an error message. And I put it in again and I got another error message. And then I went in and I like manually deleted the first character and manually added it back in. And then it went through. And I was like, oh, that was weird. Cause I just copy pasted it, cause it's like 1,000 digits long, but Lynn had the same thing happen. Jonathan had read that like something about when you copy and paste now, like a lot of the captchas and stuff aren't reading them right. And so it helps if you like backspace and manually enter the first character in of anything you copy paste. So he was doing that on something. So I did it and it worked, but Lynn didn't know that. So she called DS and DS was like, I can't get this to work. Like, what's going on? Like they were super confused. So they ended up like hanging up with her, talking to somebody and then coming back and fixing it. But the paper pumpkin they've had some weird tech type glitches. That's a weird one for sure. I've never heard of that. That's bizarre. I'm sure they will make it right, but that is weird. And
yeah, I hope so, because that's 3.5 years of stuff. I was like, there's no way I could have used them all up yet.
No, that's bizarre.
Through till like beginning of 25.
And it's not like you hit the link and resend yourself the same code, because I have done that where it's like resend your code to yourself. Do you think you did that instead? No.
No, because I went back and looked to see the email that I got that says like, here's how you start.
Right.
That's when I like saw that the codes are the exact same. Yeah, so I like saved all those. I guess I like saved them as PDFs and like included that as attachments to my email, to the
yeah.
DM, just so
That's-
that they could see that I wasn't like copy and pasting things.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah, I'm sure they'll work it out, but that's bizarre. And
Yeah,
they can
I,
look back in
just
your.
hadn't seen that before, so it
I
was just
hadn't either. Yeah, that's really weird. So, and Esther, it's interesting you bring that up, like that wasn't presented to you as an option. So it is a really weird system where Paper Pumpkin subscriptions operate over here and prepaid Paper Pumpkins operate over here, right? So prepaids operate in stampinup.com and Paper Pumpkin subscriptions operate at paperpumpkin.com, right? And so when you're at paperpumpkin.com, you actually don't know that you could go back over here to stampinup.com and buy a prepaid, right? There's nothing in the checkout process that says like, do you want to prepay? You should go over here and get a prepaid subscription, right? Like it's not presented to you, right? It's like, oh, you're going month to month. Here you go. Fill out your paperwork. So it is a really interesting thing. And I think that originally when Paper Pumpkin was started, it was started independently because if it crapped out, they didn't want it to bring down Stampin' Up. So as a entity, they made it separate so that if it wasn't successful, right, it was easy to like partition it and kick it off the island, right? Does that make sense to everybody? And so that's why they did that. So, but now I feel like there's a disconnect between the two sides, for sure. So, communication went out March 16th. If you earned, yes, rewards. That's true. Who earned rewards during celebration? Raise your hand. Yeah. Woot woot. Awesome. Good job, everybody. I will save those and use them for the new catalog. That's always my, I like to save them and use them so I can buy something special from the new catalog and not feel guilty about it. So,
I have a question.
yeah, for sure. And then I'll do door prizes and we'll get projects from everybody. What's your question, Terry?
Is there anywhere, and I've been looking and I have not found it yet, is there a place that tells the absolute history of Stampin' Up? I see the shallow history, but I don't see, the goody stuff that we hear at convention about, we've managed to stay above, the creditors by paying cash and the Shelley, and wasn't Shelley and her sister or Shelley and a girlfriend who started this? I mean, I'm looking for the grassroots story.
That's a really good question. I don't think
I found
that,
it.
yeah. So it used to be, so Shelley had a blog, and yes, I think here it is. So she still has it. It's called SoShelly.com. And it looks like she's still posting, which is kind of wild because I don't think I've checked it out in a really long time.
SoShelly.com.
SoShelly.com. Yeah. I'm going to copy and paste it into the Zoom chat. If it was anywhere, it would probably be on her blog. Shelley Gardner, but not the deep thing. It's really interesting. So I don't know. That's a really good question. But they do post cute. She posts nice stuff on there. Like she's got projects and she'll talk about, kids' birthdays and family travels and, stuff like that. So if you're ever she always posts a congratulation post for every $1 million achiever. So she always does things like that, but I don't know. That's a really good question. Sarah, I just don't think there is anything like that.
I don't think I've ever seen the financial story anywhere.
I think that's all like unpublished.
probably in the early catalogs or even like a little bit later catalogs, she might have told the story about Levon and her endeavors. I think those are usually stories they keep for like convention. You know,
Mhm.
like one time Sterling got up and said literally he'd walk in with like a sawzall and he'd take down a wall because they needed to expand the house again for, you know, the warehouse of Stampin' Up and stuff. But I don't know that I've ever seen that stuff anywhere else. It's kind of like convention lore, you know.
Well, who's
Yeah.
Levon?
That's
That's
her sister, right?
Sister. Yeah, that's
Do
who
we-
she
do
started
we-
it with.
Do we know why the sister stepped down?
She just didn't want to. I mean, they both had big families and, you know, fledgling families and all that. And she just didn't want to. I'm sure she didn't know what it was going to be, you know, 25, 30 years later.
And she's still like in the intro, like
She's
in
still
the
considered a co-founder and
Mhm,
all
yeah.
that, but that was her sister. And originally they just bought other companies' stamps. I mean, they didn't make their own stamps, but they just kind of had a consolidated catalog.
And Levon used to be in the catalog. And sometimes she comes to convention and stuff like so she's definitely been around, you know, she's just not involved. So but she's still considered the co-founder. So it's not like they dropped her or something, you know. So
And then my last question I have here, is anybody doing stuff for their anniversary? Their Stampin' Up anniversary? And what are you doing?
you know,
Or
Susan,
what
yeah,
have you
Susan,
done? I know it Susan recently did, but
yeah, Susan and I had a conversation about that because she asked what I did for mine. Anybody else do something for theirs?
I know Darlene's doing I think a bingo.
Mhm. Yeah, I think normally, you know, you pick something related around the number, you know, you could do, you know, if it's your 5th anniversary, you could do $5 off an order, $5 back on shipping, or you could do, you know, you could pick 5 winners to win 5 cards, or, you know, you can pick, you know, you can do whatever you want. But I think rewarding and thanking people who've been there, you know, along the way. I did like a mail out for all my customers like over the past year, and I sent everybody like an embellishment, you know. So with a little note that just said thank you, you know, for being a customer. Yeah, so there's a lot of options, you know, ways that we can brainstorm too. So what are you hitting, Terry?
I think I'm coming up on 5.
5. Yeah, I was kind of
I
thinking
think.
so. Yeah, because you guys kind of came in on a cadence, like you and like it was like Patsy, Kim, Sarah,
Wasn't I right?
you.
Wasn't I
Yeah.
right after Sarah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Patsy, Kim, Sarah, you. So you guys are in order on my report as to how you came in, by the way. So if you're ever wondering how I remember this, it's because Stampin' Up remembers for me, thank God. So and then of course, if you rejoin, then you go back to the bottom of the list. But yeah, so Patsy and Kim and Sarah, and then Terry, you joined, yeah, May 2018. So this is 5 years. Woohoo in May. So that's awesome. And then Jill in January of 19. Yeah, so Jill just had her 4-year. So yeah. So okay, I'm going to do some door prize drawings, but I want to see if you have a project to share. So 7 years in June, Patsy. That's a long time ago that you joined so that we could travel.
travel.
I know. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was Candy's Silver weekend that she's doing. If you're at Silver, which I know at least 4 of you are, please consider coming to that and see if you can move heaven and earth to come. And even if you can only come for the day, I know that she's going to do some day passes as well. So even if you can just come up on Saturday for a couple hours, but consider that weekend. It's going to be uber affordable and I think super fun.
When is it again?
It is
June 23rd, 24th.
It's actually, it's not that weekend. She moved it.
No, that was like my birthday weekend celebration.
She had to move it because it's the weekend of Creativity Now. So Stampin' Up scheduled Creativity Now for June 24th. And she didn't want to do it that weekend because she wants to do something for her customers that weekend for Creativity Now. So she's doing it the next weekend. So it's June 30th through July 2nd. I know. It was either that or she moved it up to Father's Day weekend and she thought that was a dicey move. So, you know, I know. I was like, yeah, you know. But anyway, so if you can come, that's great. If you're not silver and you're close, like you've got sales and you need to get, you know, add someone to your team, or I know Glenda's really looking to see if she can get there and promote, you know, let me know and we can strategize, you know, how to get you there. But I think that'll be a fun weekend. So, okay.
Is that under Southern Sweet Stampers?
She hasn't done anything yet. She posted like a graphic about it, but she hasn't put out registration or anything. But when she does, that is where it will be. And then the May event is for the annual catalog, and that is on May the 6th. Yeah. And that she has put out both an email and on Southern Sweet Stampers.
That's just a one day, right?
It's an afternoon. Yeah.
1 to 4.
That's at 1 o'clock. That's right.
Yeah. 1 to 4.
By chance, gonna do anything live with that?
I don't think she will.
Okay.
No.
I know she's doing it to go because I put in for the to go.
Okay.
Or
So no, and I am going to go to that one. I'm driving up for that one. But yeah, so I've amassed enough coupons that I can use that. So that's the other thing I wanted to remind you guys. You have coupons with me, and many of you are amassing massive amounts of coupons, and I'm going to make you redeem them soon. So don't forget that you have coupons and that you can find it at the top of C2C Stampers. There's a link to the spreadsheet. If there's new product you want from, you know, the new catalog, if you want to come to an event, Susan and I will be doing our event out at Bella Vita again. We'll do that Memorial Day. So if you want to come to Bella Vita and you want to use your coupon for that, if you want to use your coupons for a deposit for October's retreat that I'm doing, use it for that, right? Like there's lots of things that you could use those coupons for, but I am probably going to make you guys clear out your coupons at the end of this Stampin' Up! Year. To a certain degree, because some of you have been bankrolling some coupons. So, and I don't want to be like surprised one day when you're like, hi, I'd like to redeem $200 worth of coupons, you know, and I'd like to buy a big shot or whatever, you know. So just, you know, check those out. So, oh, Melissa, your camera's not working. You're working on your cards for your Facebook Live on Thursday. I'm so proud of you for going live, Melissa. That's awesome. All right, Melissa, I'll count you, but you have to show me a picture later. Show us a picture later of what you're working on, okay? So,
Do we have any idea when Candy's going to tentatively post? So
it should be really soon.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, she said she was working on it like this week. So
Yeah.
She also said first come, first serve. So
I know, that's why I want to know.
yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's okay. So the secret is she hasn't picked the house yet. So she has a couple of options, you know, Candy. So, but she has a couple of options based on like how many people sign up. So I think she's going to like do kind of like, okay, let me give everybody a week or two to register. Let's see how, you know, packed this house is going to be. And then she can make a decision on which house she's going to get. So just, you know, FYI.
well, I'm going to try to make it best I can.
That would be so exciting. We'll come get you at the airport. So
That would be great.
don't you worry.
I might spend an extra day there at your house.
Oh, hey there.
Did I just
That-
invite myself? Yeah.
You did. It needs to be on the front end because post, I'm gonna have to take Marianne to camp. So unless you want to go to Girl Scout camp with us, which you are welcome to come to Girl Scout camp
Invite.
drop off.
I would love that. I would love that. Yeah.
All right, I'm getting everybody who's here first, and then I'm gonna get people's projects. Okay, great. Now projects. Who has a project to share?
I am using up my scrap paper. So I've got, I think I've got 30, 35 cards here. So I angled up my papers, and these are my Easter cards.
Oh, so cute.
So I used old sparkle. I just used a white sparkle rabbit. Does he sparkle? Yeah, there he is. He's
Oh
sparkling.
yeah.
And I just made it as simple as possible with an inside.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. It piles up after a while.
It does. It does. And I've learned not every scrap is worth keeping, right? At this point, but
Nope.
No, that's what I was telling everybody the other night. I am finally getting my cabinets put in, and I have so many scraps everywhere, and I'm just tired of them all. So for me to save one little piece of paper to use it later, it's not going to happen. So I'm just
Nope.
sweeping them up.
Yep. Good. Who else has a project they want to show? Okay, Sarah, let me
Did
spotlight you.
some of the irresistibly, the Hello Irresistible.
Nice.
This was this one was one of the club, and it really looks embossed. This is just cut from the paper.
So wild.
And then this one I stamped on crumb cake on just a piece of the same paper.
Nice.
And cut it out. And then these are impossible, but I did put the adhesive sheets on them.
I'm so glad those weren't part of Rhonda's schema, because I would have.
Yeah, I did do one of hers. I like this one. I mean, I
do
liked
too.
all of them, but
Yeah.
I just did this one, and then we did a really quick, because I promised these little Easter baskets, I did a little chocolate bunny with flowers.
Cute.
And this is the baby wipe technique. So I put the re-inker on the baby wipe, and I smeared it on the paper and just did it like pastel-y Eastery.
That's so cute. That's so fun.
That's very cute.
I like the chocolate bunny. He's really cute. I want to eat him. All right. Who else has one to show off?
I know Elena does.
Elena.
Yeah, I just
you
have
wanna-
one.
Let me see. I'm going
Um,
to spotlight you. Okay.
I've been, for the ladies in my card class that come regularly when it's their birthday, I've been trying to make them a present. They
Aw.
appreciate, anything. So I've been making them little, pieces of art and framing them or whatever. So she likes lilac. So I did that with the,
Cute.
that wisteria set.
So pretty.
That's so pretty.
That's really lovely. Like, who wouldn't want to have that in their office or
I
by their
want that.
bed? I know. I love
What kind
it.
of frame is that, Elena?
This one I was using dollar store, but they were so bad that I switched to get these at Hobby Lobby, and when they're half off, I think it was like $4. So
Does it have room in it, or is it?
this is a 4x6.
Okay, and do you have something on dimensionals back there?
I believe that, see how this is layered on there on the, this. I believe I put dimensionals up top, but then just used glue there. And then I have
Interesting.
the brass butterflies and the bow.
Yeah, it seems to
Because
be.
it looks like you have room in the frame to do, it looks like a shadow box from here.
Yeah.
It's well, yeah.
It's pretty
I don't know,
tight,
just
but
a
it looks
basic-
good.
It's just
Yeah.
a
That's
basic
really great. I
frame.
love it.
Yeah,
That's a great
you.
idea.
that's
Thank
really
you.
sweet. I love that. That's so sweet. Nice. Anybody else have something they want to share? Patsy, what are you up to? You've got class too, right?
I know on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I haven't. I know what I'm doing. I haven't started it yet.
Yes, this is how I am, which is how I ended up with 14 boxes and not 24. I was like, I know what I'm
gonna do
doing.
The impossible, that one that Sarah was just showing.
Oh, the Hello Irresistible.
Irresistible, impossible.
That's
There's
an
a lot of good
I-word.
samples on Pinterest too. Like I just kind of printed out a few and just kind of mishmashed them together.
I'm gonna use it though for Easter because from before when we had the cross die cuts and put that in the center of it with the rest of it, like the background. So it'll be Easter cards.
Pretty nice. Esther, I love that. Nicely done. Oh, what's
I-
that one?
The gnomes.
Oh my gosh.
That I did for the green thing.
That's funny.
Patrick.
I love that. That's great.
So cute.
Esther, nice job. I love the cacti. I love the flowers. Nice, nice.
There's Esther.
Yeah, those are nice samples. Anybody else have something to show? Lisa, you got something to show? You've always got something cooking over there.
Pretty. The happy birthday.
Oh, let me see. Oh yeah. Nope, nothing today. That's okay, Lisa. You wore yourself out with that like 97 card display rack donation. Do I know what? Oh, she's got something. Here we go. Spotlight. Oh yeah, look at those ladybugs.
Terry and I are going to the event in Edwardsville this weekend. And so this is my card for swapping.
Yeah. Look at that. I love that. It's a pop-up though, isn't it? Yeah.
Pop-up card. And
yeah,
you can set it.
Oh, cute.
Oh, cute.
Like
I
that.
saw you posted that on the green challenge, and when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh.
The two greens.
What did you use for that little?
The this one here is from one of the
It's the hostess.
That's the dandy designs or whatever. Yeah.
and this is garden green, which I hope they don't get rid of. I really like it.
I think it's going.
Oh,
You do.
don't say that.
If I was gonna bet dollars, I'm gonna bet dollars to donuts that garden green is going. So
All right, donuts.
I just went through a pack of it.
well,
Use a little
Maybe I
mechanism.
should order some just because I like it.
she just did a dot. She just did a cardstock circle on a dimensional.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then
like a
what's the base? I guess like the fold of the
The
I guess
fold, this is a 6x3.
okay.
And then it's scored, at 3. And then it's scored from the top right to the middle left. And so this isn't glued down back here.
Right. All of us were like,
Okay, we need a demo for team meeting.
Okay.
Oh,
So Lisa, will you do that one for the next meeting? Will you show everybody how to make that?
yes,
Yeah, I
please.
can do that.
That would be great.
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Okay, that would be great. So, and Kathleen, I see a very cute card.
Yeah, I love
in-
that.
So Kathleen, that would be great for realtors. That's the stamps that I've been trying to sell to the realtors here. I'm like, come on, this is the perfect realty, like welcome to your new home, like stamped image. That looks really nice. Is that Dapper Denim paper?
No, Misty Moonlight.
Oh, Misty Moonlight. Also, a
Yeah,
really good
I've got a
color.
lot of it left over. And so I'm trying to use it up. And I find that stamp does really well with dark, rich ink.
Yeah.
I did it before with like crumb cake and it just wasn't as powerful.
Yeah.
But a friend
There's
of
so
mine just
much
bought a house
detail.
down in Buda and she invited me to her housewarming party. And so I made that with like 5 minutes to spare because I was rushing. So Sarah, I feel you when you were like doing work with it. Like that's totally me.
I love that. That's beautiful.
And then the other one was for a friend who eloped. I cased it from Candies.
Oh, yeah.
So it should look familiar to some of you guys.
Yeah.
I just cased it.
Nice job. Well, so Terry has some big news to share with everybody, and then I'll draw some winners. But Terry and Lisa are going to an event in their local area this weekend. And Terry was approached by Shannon West to do
Oh.
something. Terry, you want to share what you're doing?
And who's Shannon
know, yeah.
West?
You got me all excited again. Shannon West is from corporate, and while they are doing 25 for 25, which is like 25
No, 35
across
for 35.
the world for the 25 years. This
35.
is not that.
35, Terry.
35 or 35, yeah. So she I just I'm humbled. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm very excited but humbled at the same time. I know they don't really go together, but I am. She actually called and asked if I would do a demo. And she says, I'd really like to focus on old worlds, on, beginner styles. So I threw out 3 ideas. I threw out the old fashioned bleach method. I threw out, ink your block up and then stamp on that. And then I said, it's not really stamping, but I threw out the Barbasol shave cream with the dots in it, and you swirl it and make marbled paper. And I said, to be honest, Shannon, I think that would, they wouldn't be making a card, but they would be, I could give it, I could give it to people. I don't have to keep the pieces, but I think that would make a really big impact because it's different. And she says, I like that idea. So she goes, oh, and can you make some display cards too? It's like, geez, all right. Well, I just finished how many did I make, Lisa? 55 or 60 swaps. I said I do my shoebox, and then I got to do my demo.
That's awesome. So you're going to be on stage demoing?
Well, I think there's what, Lisa, was it 75 so far? 75 people coming.
Nice.
I don't know how they're going to do it, on stage or stations. She hasn't really been specific.
Nice.
So yeah. So that's
awesome.
a really, really, really cool thing. And then after she had invited us, she's taking the silvers and above I don't know if she's taking us. We got invited to a dinner on Friday night for the silvers and above. So I'm hoping that there'll be some business know-how that she shares. I'm terribly excited. I mean, I came down off cloud 9 until you just mentioned it again, Melissa.
Well, we needed to share the good news with everybody. So I told Terry, I said, you have to have someone who's your designated still shot photographer and someone who's a videographer. So 2 different people. So Lisa can do one, but then you got to find a friend and we got to get someone else to do the other and have them send it to you, because we definitely want to see photos and a video. And please take lots of photos from the event, please, please, please. And feel free to just dump them in our page, because we would love to see, we'd love to see, what you guys are getting to go to. And I think that's really fabulous. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so nice.
Thank you.
And she's so cool.
She's
too.
really nice. Yeah, she's a nice.
Very
yeah.
nice.
So she did say that everything she's got laid out sounds like a mini convention. It really does. She asked us if we would bring one extra, swap card that we're swapping outside of the hall, I guess, to put on a board. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so when she did that, it's like she's following some of the main ideas from a big convention.
Yeah.
Do you recall how many came to the last convention roughly? Was it 500?
5,000.
5,000. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a mini.
Yeah.
A tiny mini.
Yeah. So the onstage locals have about 750 in Texas. The other onstage locals have about 500. Normal convention, like back in the day, had about 2,500 to 3,500. But the 2 biggest were the 25th anniversary one, which I went to, and the 30th anniversary one, which you guys all went to.
Yep.
Most of us were in Orlando. That one had 5,000, and the 25th anniversary one, I think, had like 3,500 or 4,000. So yeah. big stuff. But yeah, they like to take the things, the hallmark things that work at a large convention and scale them down. And so having the display boards and stuff is great. So we're so excited for you. Yay!
I'm almost nauseous about it. I mean, it was
Oh yeah,
cool.
you'll be sick
Lisa's-
in your stomach.
Will I?
Yeah, you will
Lisa's
be.
been a great friend. I mean, she's calmed my butt down a few times. It's all right. You did it on your own. It's like, how'd this happen? How'd this happen?
Well, and it was funny because Terry was like, did you talk to Shannon West? Did you tell her? I was like, no, like this is not a conspiracy. Like they found you and you're doing this. So yeah, if you're not nervous, you're doing something wrong. Like even people who've been presenting in front of thousands of people, if they don't have butterflies in their stomach before they present, they're not doing it right. So
I'm just glad I'm not showing frog stamps.
Amen. Amen. Okay, so I'm going to draw some winners. Here are what I have for prizes. I'm going to spotlight myself so that you can see me. Spotlight. Okay. I know that the camera on this laptop is not as good as the camera on my old laptop, which is why I look incredibly fuzzy. I do not have a blur feature on. This is called, I'm using a hand-me-down laptop. And so I'm in full fuzz mode. So I have some really fun, and they're much cuter than they are portraying, but they are stickers from Pip Sticks, and they say play, make, create. They have like little markers and little like salt shakers with sequins and googly eyes. Anyway, it's a fun little sticker set. You can put it in your planner or have some fun with it. So I have that. I have 3 sets of pastel adhesive backed sequins. Stampin' Up accidentally mailed these to me instead of dimensionals. I have no idea why. I called them. They were like, oh, that's weird. I was like, I thought so. So they mailed me my dimensionals too. But yes, so we have 3 pastel adhesive backed sequin sets. And we have iridescent pastel gems. So the other iridescent pastel, whatever. So that one's a little off, but that'll irritate me. Okay, here we go. I'm drawing. Let's see. Let's see. Jill Moyer, what would you like? I know it's a tough.
I would like the odd man gem pack you got.
Odd man gem pack. Love it.
I don't have that set.
All right. Yours and
Thank
glued.
you.
You are welcome. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. Kim, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Well, my dear, would you like
Oh my
some
gosh.
pastel adhesive back sequins or some Pip stickers by Pip Sticks?
You know, I love sequins.
I love sequins too.
Thank you.
Yes, and these are actually really pretty. So I was like, I Stampin' Up. I was like, do you want me to mail them back? They're like, no. I was like, all right, I'll use them for prizes. No problem. All right, let's see. Here we go. Oh, I got 2, so I'm gonna do them both. All right. So Kathleen, you are next, my dear. What would you like, Miss Kathleen?
I will take the second pastel adhesive backed sequins, please.
Lovely. And then Melissa Ramirez, would you like a pack of pastel adhesive backed sequins, or would you like the stickers by Pip Sticks? I'll give you a second because I know your camera's not working. Sequins. I know that is supposed to be sequins and not sequence. Okay. If nobody wants the stickers, I think it's a shame, but let's see. I'll pull one more. And if you don't want them, you can just tell me no, thank you. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Terry, would you like?
I was gonna ask for them. Actually, I keep looking at cute stuff at Hobby Lobby. It's like, no, I'm not gonna drop, $15 on stickers. Nope. So for me, it's perfect.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
I'm glad. They do a sticker like subscription box or whatever, and I'm a sucker. So anyway, and I like their stickers. I think they're really cute. So I used to have a sticker collection. I whipped it out the other day. they do affiliate marketing, and I think it's a-okay. Like, I think I can make money from this. So, you know, if you see more stickers, you'll know why. So, okay. So on that note, anything else for the good of the order? I will go back to creating lots and lots of, I don't know why I thought these would be fun to make, but I'm doing like that shiny paper with the little thanks die cut on it, but I'm
Oh, that's
regretting.
pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. I think I mean, I think that paper is really pretty. So
I call
so
that paper
shiny.
candy. Sometimes,
Uh-huh.
sometimes I have my classes. I said, today we're making paper candy.
Yeah, this is fun. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, which is interesting. Okay, they've moved buttons on me, I swear. Stop.